Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, today I'm painting a bit bigger painting than usual. This is the reason why the video is a bit longer than usual. Yes, I didn't want to speed it up too fast, so it's a bit longer than normal. Maybe a few of you already saw it on my Instagram. A while ago. I needed a bit time for editing because yes, I had a few problems with the editing, and so yeah, but now I had the time and it works, so here it is. The first thing I did is covering all the white parts in the painting with masking fluid. I used for outlining and thin lines and details the masking fluid pen I made myself. If you don't know what I mean, I talk about it in another video. I will link to it, the video, in the description box. And because the masking fluid pen or marker is not made for watercolors and also not for watercolor paper, you should be a bit more careful, and so I only use it for the outlines and details, and the rest I filled with masking with the brush, masking fluid with a brush. Yes, and then I started, of course, painting. The colors I don't know exactly the color I used for each part here. I almost, I when I'm painting, I have, of course, colors in my head what I want, and I also choose colors from my palette that I will use. But when I am painting, I choosing very spontaneously which color. I always testing them before I paint on a scrap paper, and then I decide if I like the color or not, and if they fit to all the other colors. And so I don't know anymore exactly what colors I use, but the colors I had in my mind when I started to paint were from yellow, the colors permanent yellow light, permanent deep red, Indian red, greenish yellow, and ultramarine light. And from Schmincke, raw sienna, and indigo. And here, for example, I'm painting with Indian red and mixed with a bit permanent red deep to make it a bit more vibrant, not that brownish, but I didn't want to have it too vibrant red, so I made a mixture, and the trees often mixed with yellowish green and dipped a bit red and yellow here and there, or brown here and there. Oh yes, I forgot to mention Van Dyke brown I also use by Mijello. Yes, and these are the colors. When I'm painting pictures, I always try not to use too many colors. It's easier to get the painting harmonic. The more color you use, the more difficult is that the color contrast and harmony works. So it's always easier using less colors, but sometimes when you're painting something more complex, here for example with background and foreground, it's you need more colors sometimes. So in this painting I need a bit I used a bit more colors than usual, and what can I say more? As I'm painting, the first layers are always wet and wet, first as always, I'm painting with a lot of water, and you see when it's dry it loses a bit vibrancy because I used a lot of water. And yes, I'm dabbing in the wet color another color, and so you get these gradients and smooth color effects and stuff. But always be careful with if you paint with a lot of water. When you painted the area you wanted to paint, always take too much water away with a dry dab brush, otherwise you will get these dark edges around the area, and this is something that can look very ugly. Maybe you want this effect, then it's okay, but I don't like it that much, so I always, when I paint it with a lot of water and there's too much water on the area, I take it away with a dry dab brush, and so I have the control over the painting area. And so I'm starting now with the second layer, darker parts. This is also a thing I always doing, is painting from light to dark, because when you start with dark colors, the dark colors always can bleed into the light colors when they are too close together, and if you paint the other way around and start with the light colors and then the dark colors, this is not a problem. So you don't see when light colors bleed into the dark colors. So yes, and here I rubbed away all the masking fluid, and you see now the white parts of the frames. Only the girl in the foreground, I leave the masking fluid there because I first wanted to finish the background. And now I'm doing shadows. I decided to use a more cold shadow. I often like warm shadows, but here I used a lot of warm colors, like the brown on the roofs, or the red on the house, and the warm colors of the trees and bushes and plants. And so I decided to use a colder shadow color. And it is also very important always for me to find a good balance between warm colors and cold colors. I don't like when it has the same measure of cold and warm. I like it when one temperature is bigger than the other. I don't know how to explain this in English. And so I already used cold colors for two roofs, the roof of the red house and one of the beige houses, and of course of the not street walks, sidewalk, and of the shadows. This are the cool colors. All the rest are more warm. And yeah, now I'm starting painting the details of the stone wall, different browns and grays, and I used a bit white. This is really I really don't use this often. Well, I almost never use this white, but I thought some lighter stones in the wall would be nice, so I used a bit white pigment. And details of the sidewalk. And and now a bit deeper shadows in the trees with here I used not a cold color for the shadows, more warm. It wouldn't look nice on the trees when it's gray, when the shadow color is gray. So I used a more brownish tone for the shadows. It's always get the questions what color I'm using for shadows, and this is always, I don't know what to answer when I get this question, because on each color I'm using different colors as shadows, because not every color looks nice on every color. So yes, this is something I always testing. Well, now I already know what colors looks nice on what color, but when I started painting I didn't know, and I always tested it before I used it. Yeah. This is the most important thing when you paint with watercolors, is the experience. You can't learn everything from reading or tutorials. The best thing to learn painting with watercolors is really painting, and don't be afraid of experimenting and failing. It's nothing bad when you fail. When I fail a lot, also now, it's not a thing that I don't do. Well, it's when I experiment I fail a lot. It's nothing bad. You learn also from failing, and so don't be afraid of using watercolors. Just paint and have fun, and yeah, enjoy what you're doing, and don't waste too much time in reading about it or watching videos. Just paint. This is really important. And here I rubbed away the masking fluid of the girl and painted over, yeah, now the main colors of the girl. I was really glad that the paper underneath were still nice. Sometimes it's a bit destroyed, not really destroyed, but different. I say different, and sometimes the colors, when you paint over it, they look a bit different too. But here it was still nice. You should never leave masking fluid too long on the paper, because first, if you use blue masking fluid, the blue could stain into the paper, but also when you leave it too long on it, it's maybe you will never be able to rub it away anymore. This has also happened to me when I had a painting and then didn't finish it, and then I had a job and had to paint for this job, and a few weeks later I couldn't rub the masking fluid anymore. This was really sad. And here details on the girl with polychromos, and now I'm also adding a few details and deeper shadows with polychromos on the background. Here the roofs and houses. Yes. And well, I think that's it. What I have to say here. Just adding a bit texture and a bit deeper shadows on a few parts of the painting, and that's it. I hope you like this painting, and I hope you like this video. Maybe it helped a bit. Don't see this video as a tutorial. See it as just as a as a I don't know, as a progress video and let it inspire you, but you don't need to do it like I'm doing it. This is just how I do it. If you don't like using polychromos, don't use polychromos. If you love to use polychromos, use them. Well, there are millions of ways as using a technique and using watercolors, so try your stuff, make experiments and have fun. Thank you for watching and hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!